this is a great example. I personally didn't know who J.D. Vance was before he was at the Tzedek event.
Right, February.
When Trump chose him, I'm like, oh, he's the guy from that event? And then I'm like, whoa, like he had the foresight to see and like, okay, this is someone who's going to play a big impact in politics. And everything happening here, it's going to play a big impact in the next coming years.
En wat skits Moshe Margaretten, es ist moeilijk interessant. Der Eibischter mir jedem so moeilige Talent, so moeilige ability zu identifizieren die Sachen. Sie sehen der Mensch geht eulig Dilles an Eintog, geht an groß, lass mich ihm helfen.
Ja.
Kein sich geht um J.D. Vance, kein sich dass J.D. Vance geht jetzt umkommen. En Moshe, wir sollten mal rausgehen Menschen von Twisse bei Covid. Moshe Margaretten so aufgekommen mit der Idee, als es du a Pandemic, kann man jetzt machen a law, der Mensch, nochmals, so sagen, was der Eibischter mir jedem Talent, was klarlich ist lucky zu haben Moshe Margaretten als an Asken. Aber lassen wir nicht jetzt bei Weinen Moshe, sondern wir für einen wichtigen, heiligen Zweck. In Baruch Hashem, der Röhm rief sich warm. Aber man hat noch einen Warteweg zu gehen. Und sie kommen zu den $5 Million. Und man darf noch ending den Bonus-Goal auch haben bei Nacht.
So, just for people who are not familiar with what we were just talking about, last year in February, there was a event which took place in the Sleepy Hollow Hotel in upstate New York. And this was a celebration and more like an event to thank the people who were involved in the previous campaign, which took place about a year and a half ago. And at this event, I mean, the biggest A-list celebrities and political celebrities were showing up. And you had J.D. Vance, who I didn't know what he looked like. I heard the name, like, because apparently they said Trump likes him a lot, and maybe he'll be vice president. I remember sitting there in the room, and, like, somebody was telling me, go get a picture with him. He's going to be vice president one day. I was thinking, like, what are you talking about? But last week I had Moshe on my podcast. I started a new Yiddish language podcast, and I had him on, and we were talking about this exact thing. I asked him, so how do you identify, like, who's going to be the next star of the political world, and how do you know who to invest your time and energy with, to be able to make impact for America? And one of the things he told me was that there's no foolproof way to do this. You can't be guaranteed that when you're spending time with someone, even if you have a good inkling that this person is going to be big, you have no way. You try to invest your time and energy in the most strategic ways, however you see fit. And sometimes you make some good investments, sometimes you make some bad investments. But in the case of J.D. Vance, he told me that not only was he identified when he was in the Senate, Rav Moshe basically helped him get elected to the Senate because he believed in him so strongly. And then, once he was in the Senate, they saw how powerful he was, and they felt that he's going to be a very big star. And look, he's about to become inaugurated as the Vice President of the United States, and he's a friend of Tzedek. It's incredible. We're very excited because we know that it seems, Rav Moshe told me last week, it looks like the chessboard is aligned. All the pieces are in the right place to make really big impact for the Klal Yisrael and for America at large.
Ja. En ze mamen niet zum Gleib, muss ich tun. In Menschen sag mal, teen underestimaten, wo Menschen gappen nicht, wo der Guide vor bei MS. Man kijkt hij ins Kapern, man sagt zu der Israeli politics, American politics, also 330 Millionen Menschen wohnen in den United States, eine von den größten Ländern in der Welt. Der Fakt, dass uns, eine kleine Gruppe von Menschen, kennen Tina sagt, hat einen Impact of tens of thousands of people.
Millions, I would say millions.
Ja, aber es ist jetzt, ja, also ich sage Millions. Es ist unbelievable. Es hat man nicht, wo der Guide vor. Es hat man nicht die Starkheit. Wie warten sie umgekommen mit Moshe Margaretten. Und der Fakt, als es gelungen, in einer Time, wenn Politik sich gewonnen, so schmutzig und so, man fight einer mit dem Zweiten. Man kennt sich, die two parties, sie kommen sich keinmal nicht durch. Und Moshe Margaretten, einmal und noch einmal, bringt zusammen beide Parties. Tragst daran. Ja. Es ist angefangen bei Trump. Biden hat der Macke bepattisch, Biden 2-3 Wochen zurück, it commuted the sentencing von ein paar Menschen.
Ja.
Kann bringen politicians von beiden Seiten, es ist eine Sache, sehr wenige Menschen können tun.
Ja, next hat man gesehen, Senator Cory Booker was here yesterday, and it's no secret that Cory Booker, at least in the past, was not a big fan of Donald Trump. And he was here yesterday, and he said, I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm going to work with Donald Trump, the President of the United States, to get this bill signed into law. It's a beautiful thing because it's not only going to help so many people, but it's also a show of what's possible when we are united and not divided. And another thing I wanted to talk about for a second is that at the end of the day, Klal Yisrael is supposed to be Or Lagoyim. We're supposed to be a light onto the nations. We're supposed to act in a respectable, dignified way and show the world that you can have high standards and live up to those standards, and it could be a beautiful world. And the fact that a Hasidic Yid with a long black suit, a long pious and a beard, and a big black hat from Williamsburg is meeting with the president in the White House and with the vice president and has made so many connections all over the country and is using this to do something that is not only going to help people in the Jewish community, but actually is going to help millions of Americans who are struggling with infertility. I don't think there's any greater light and any greater Kiddush Hashem than showing what's possible when your priorities are straight and you're not wasting your time on stupidities. It's a really beautiful thing and a big
Can I
light.
talk business for a second?
Yes.
Okay, so we, on Living the Chaim, we have a show called Kosher Money. I don't host it. My brother hosts it. And we have so many awesome, great people who come on. And very often there's people who made it big in a kosher, yasher way. And there is a commonality. Not everyone, but very often, I want everyone at home to think of someone they know who's mega wealthy. Okay, now that you thought of it, they're either in, let's say, maybe real estate or nursing homes. Their way to wealth is by working with the government. If you're in nursing homes, it's Medicaid and Medicare. If it's real estate, it's because if you're in real estate, you don't pay taxes because, again, totally legal. That's how Trump made a lot of money. There's tremendous amounts, $quadrillion in the government, and they have so much money to spend. And they will spend the money on the places where they hear people care about. And we know that Donald Trump mentioned that he cares about this. Again, it was a few months ago, but we need people like Tzedek in there, the Tzedek Association, in there to remind them, hi, this is, whether it's a criminal reform, justice reform, or IVF, we need that representation, and the government has the money. We want them spending it there and not in the silly places where all of us don't need it, we don't want it, America doesn't need it, and that's really what they're about.
En ik zei daar een interessante zaak met Moshe Margaretten, als hat ausgefigert, wie ze ons gekommen kan Washington, als zaak was ich tisch mit das Konem, was sag Jahren, was ich interview als Konem, auf a local level, keiner hat nicht bewiesen zu dem, was Moshe hat getan. Und von wie habe ich gehabt, als Moshe ist umgekommen, eigentlich wie keiner ist umgekommen. Vor Jahren hat Moshe Margaretten gemacht, als Schäferbruches, der größte Schäferbruches, gedenkst?
Ja.
En ich denke, wenn Moshe vielleicht mich kommen, nach Schäme, die stille in man, drauf gemacht, kann Wasser, hat nicht gesagt, sein letzter Nummer. Ich gesagt, Moshe. Ich heiße Moshe, hat gesagt. Das ist gesagt, zu machen für sich, ich sage, der rausgenommen, ein paar $1,000 frei gesagt, ein paar $1,000 du, ein paar $1,000 geschickt an Washington zu dem Lobbyist, ist, ich bekomme einen Call, Vater Chef Bruches, ich kann nicht schon kommen, ich bekomme einen Call von einem, Asken in Brooklyn, ein Congressman in Brooklyn, was ist nicht invited geworden zu der Chef Bruches. Es hat sehr stark gebaut. Gewollt, kommen zu der Chef Bruches, was Moshe gemacht. Menschen gaat nicht, wo der geht vor. Moshe noch halt sehr humble, hat nicht von sich, in Sommer du a Koech, ein Mensch, der Eibsten geschickt, der Eibsten gegeben dem Koech, als kennt sein, der Gitter schlieg, aufzuziehen, von Klall Yisroel, ist nur so viel, was man darf noch aufziehen. Sie geht nicht bleiben stehen bei der IVF. IVF behält sich ein Bekuren, auf mir, als wir darüber gehen. Sie geht kein Water, in Water, mit Neibischen Silf, mit dem Koech Achdes. Ich habe früher gesagt, dass ich angefangen bei der Baschken hat man gesehen, die erste Mal der Koech Achdes. Man gemacht größte Messibes, größte Versammlungen, die kommen jeden von allen Schichten und Kreisen. Man gesagt, damals, der Baschken haben wir gesagt, dass so geht auskicken, wenn man Schicht kommen. Alle zusammen. Selbst sieht man da, jeder eine sich achtet, weil man weiß, dass das geht sich aufstellen. Das ist so ein langer Weg zu gehen, und man geht umkommen mit Hashem.
So, for those who don't understand Yiddish, Shimon just said a really cool story, actually. What he said was that last year, Rabbi Margaretten made this big event in February in the Sleepy Hollow Hotel, and many congressmen and senators were invited. And he later found out that there was a senator or a congressperson?
Congressman.
A congressman who was not invited. And he was like, what's up, guys? Like, I wanted to be at this event. He was, like, disappointed. But that's, a lot of times there are private citizens who want to go to an event, and they're, like, disappointed that they couldn't get in with the high rollers. In this case, it was a congressman who was like, I wanted to be at that event. So it's a prestigious organization that gets a lot of big things done, and definitely worthy of your support. We just got to $3,921,000, so we're less than $79,000 away from $4 million. Now, I believe we have our first guest here who's going to be sitting down. Please have a seat.
Please introduce yourself, tell us your name, where you're from, and why you're here.
Yiddish, English?
Whatever you're comfortable with.
This is okay.
How's it going? Nice to meet you. I prefer English, but that's me.
By the way, I always wish to be with you on the one table.
Okay, there we go. A Shabbos table or with mics?
Both.
Okay, we could do.
Dreams are coming true live here at Tzedek. Okay, so what is your name?
Okay, my name is Yitzchak Schwartz,
Okay, and where are you from?
Williamsburg.
Very nice. What brings you to Tzedek today?
I took my goal of $26,000, hopefully to make it and to get it,
Ambitious.
because I'm a bit in the struggle of this infertility problems. So I guess that this is my way. I can bring to the table this kind of this mitzvah, whatever you want to name it.
Yeah, so let's move away from the money for a second. What is the fact that Rav Moshe has taken on this project and Tzedek is trying to get this bill passed? What does that mean to you as somebody who's involved in the struggle right now?
Kodem is the feeling kodem somebody is curious about us, and totally different than just he really cares because he does a lot. And nog the mind that says is changing. It's gonna change because one of the biggest, I would say, 70% of the problems this couple's going through is when they're thinking how I'm gonna get the money, and if something fails, how I'm going to tell now for the organization, it should be one on whatever it is, it failed. I need another 20,000.
Yeah.
It's a bad feeling.
Right.
So this is going to get solved.
Und mich fragen nach Schale, es geht dann ein bisschen sensitiv, aber ich frage es, weil es auch Menschen mich gefragt. Und ich weiß, als die Sache, was kommt an vor, es sind nicht Moischen mehr geredet zu dir. Die in Gelad sind gegangen zu Moischen, hat ihm gesagt, es darf man das haben. So, Menschen fragen mich, New York hat alle Programms zugestellt für die Sachen. Für was darf man gehen zu, was darf man in Washington? Wo sind die was New York hat bis jetzt? Ich frage es, weil ich bin ignorant in dem. Ich will bei ihm es verstehen. Ich will wissen, was die Antworten von Menschen, das fragen nicht alle.
The fact is, they're covering it. Nope, they're not covering. And Ibrul covered me, yeah. Perfect. For was me covered, for wie ich kenne es nicht. I have no clue. Ich weiß nur the fact that me covered es nicht. And whereas Menschen struggling, and Menschen darfen Geld für them. So for was, I have no clue. But that's the fact, me covered nicht. And that's the only way. Weißt du, man darf sagen auf der Weg, weil der Weg ist geschehen. Und ich wollte nicht getreut, sie kommen auf der Weg.
Could you take us through as much as you're comfortable with, like that journey, right? You have to go through so much, physical and emotional and spiritual. Like, it's very difficult to go through all that. And obviously, money's the last thing you want to have to worry here. But like, you take us through what that's like to go and try and keep on trying and fail and then try again.
It is hard. It's hard emotionally, but I wish to get. Hashem gives everybody the energy and the kochos, whatever he needs to go through. So I don't think as man Schwierigkeit is schwerer wie deine Schwierigkeit because it's this place. Because jeder bekommt seine kochos anywhere he's going through. So if it's a struggle, but you don't have any money for the grocery order, you anyways going to get the energy from Hashem and the koch to go through. So it's the same kind of idea. For me, it doesn't matter. Maybe I can't, that's why I can't share it for jeder meinem. For me, I'm looking at this as the same as any other struggle.
That's very powerful. For someone like you, though, to imagine that this bill gets passed and Hashem, everything works out, and to know that financially the government's going to cover all of this, what would that mean for you?
It's going to be amazing. It's not going to be for me. Es geht mehr meine für mir, die sich sehr auf andere Menschen strugglen, als reisen, als relief in sich. And it's not only about now, it's about the future. I'm visualizing the future of my children, grandchildren, how they're not gonna suffer about it. If I can't even wissen, dass again as I suffer, it's gonna basically change. So ich visualize schon jetzt, wie es geht aussehen in 20 Jahren.
And it sounds like you're very confident that this is going to happen.
I am.
Amazing. Why do you have that confidence?
Why not? Look at the facts, and also it's a feeling. I have the feeling. There's no way, in fact, als zal niets geschehen. And all the feelings look me. If it's not going to happen, means I don't know, but probably it's going to happen.
You know why you have that feeling? Because you know Tzedek's behind it, and you've seen what they've done, and they don't play games. And when they try to make a change,
subconsciously,
you know it. You know.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for being here.
No problem.
Thank you for sharing that very personal struggle with us, and we wish you simchas bekuda.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
So we're going to be joined now by another guest, Rabbi Spitzer, who has been basically managing this entire campaign, and somebody with incredible energy. I don't know when he sleeps because he was up late at night and up early again in the morning. So I don't know what's going on, but welcome back to the program, Rabbi Spitzer. He was with us yesterday. Please hold the mic
Do
closer.
you have more questions, or you want to repeat yesterday's questions?
No, well, I have two more hosts. I'm sure they have a lot of questions. But first of all, talk to us for a second about the campaign. I'm going to take a quick look here to see where we're holding. We are currently at $3,928,503. So we are $72,000 away from $4 million.
Yes,
Wow.
Hashem.
Are you confident that we're going to reach the goal of 5 before midnight?
I believe I'm confident. The numbers are going super on track, which is amazing, Baruch Hashem. We hope to hit before supper, which is 6:45. We hope we're going to be by $4 million. We have close to 28,000 donors as of now, which is an impressive number.
It's
That
a
means-
crazy number.
Yeah, that basically means that Grassroots is tuned in. So if they're tuned in, we're going to figure out the last million. We figured out the first 4, we're going to figure out the last, Me'ez Hashem. Working on some bigger pledges as well. And the puzzle will come together, Me'ez Hashem, by the end of the night.
Amazing. Now, for those who weren't with us yesterday, can you walk us through a little bit about what you do, why you're here, and how you do what you do?
So I have a company. Shemin is kind of a victim of my company. Had a few times pages already under my company. I have a company, the Omni Group, which we basically do campaign management. I'm involved in many campaigns. Baruch Hashem, we raised last year over $200 million, my company himself. But Tzedek has a personal connection to me. I'm friends with Moshe, with Yumi Kramer, with Shimon Lebowitz, with the people involved. And Tzedek was from my first campaigns. They trusted me from the first ones. So I started with them already by their first campaign and going together with them. As they grow with the numbers, I grow with my numbers. So together we're making it happen. So it's my honor to be involved and to see Moshe delivering what he's best at. And Baruch Hashem, to see such an impressive oilam here. It's amazing to see their growth. So we're basically a campaign management company, running the campaign's backend, the strategy, the technical, the marketing, the logistics, hiring the right people on every part of the campaign. And that's what we do.
You deal with so many organizations and companies. What would you say makes, I'm sure there's a bunch of reasons, but what's one reason that makes Tzedek different than all of them?
So I would say Tzedek is the only organization that's not an organization. It's a belief in a person. So there's a person that we all believe that he can deliver stuff that nobody delivered before him and didn't deliver so far. He got to open doors that nobody opened till now. And it's a belief and a faith in what he says that he's going to make it happen. Like you saw the singer man sitting there a few minutes ago. Why do you believe so? Because I believe so. So, and Baruch Hashem, so far, he surprised us time after time. So it's different than a regular organization, which means for me, in a technical perspective, it's very overwhelming because it's not a regular organization with a full fundraising office the whole year. So my whole office technically is closing shop from all other things, and we're basically running Tzedek 24 hours because we become Tzedek's office for this week.
Lass mich fragen, als das Schale. Ich weiß, ich verstehe, als es leicht schon an uns bestammt so. Wie viel geht, wie viel das Reisen hat nach? Es hat schon Vater a goal, wie viel man geht reisen und wie viel der Bonus geht sein. Wieso machen wir die Decision, nach Vater Campaign zu angefangen, wieso weiß man, wie viel Geld geht reinkommen?
So we didn't make the goal till Sunday, 12 p.m., the 36 hours of the campaign, and the links is already out. People are already raising from Tuesday. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday was pre-campaign mode, and I basically saw the dynamics, who we can rely on, how much could they raise, and we saw on the percentages and on the amount of raisers, the amount of active raisers, the amount of money they're raising, the type of donations they're getting, how much we can try to rely on, and of course making a little bit of a push more than the realistic number. And Me'ez Hashem, usually if you're close to your realistic goal, some surprise is happening by then because people are invested and want to see you reach your goal.
Right. And when die nehmst campaign, meint es basically, als die weißt, als du hast ein Team, mit dem du kannst arbeiten, du hast ein Mäuset, eine Organisation, wo es du weißt, als sie geht, die Geist Sharan, die treten Sharan nach durchfall, du weißt vor dem, als die Geist sind successful. Ich frage es, weil, wenn wir sehen eine Organisation, was hat der Omni Logo on it, meint es, man kann sich rechnen, als es
Obviously, the only thing that we can provide in a campaign is the team. We can help your team do everyone delegate their work, delegate their passion, and deliver what they're best at. But we can't deliver you the team. So if the team is good, and I see it beforehand, and they follow the process in the first steps, the technical steps, the database, and whatever tests we're testing them in the beginning, and if they go through that test and they're doing it well, then we know that we have with whom to work, the normal people, healthy people, which Tzedek is unbelievable at this. We're mamash a family. Amni and Tzedek is a family. We're doing this together. Sitting in my office, I'm sitting in their office, and together we're making it happen.
Now, walk me through a little bit of the logistics of what are happening here. So I know you're here with your team, and first of all, what's your team size here at Tzedek right now? Like, how many people are working under you?
So I have here my partner. His name is Nuchem Arnstein. He's more on top of the logistical and the marketing part.
Okay.
I'm on top of the strategy and fundraising. And then I have, I would say, a team of 12
Wow.
here. So basically, there's a group of vendors. I believe we have here 10 companies that are involved in this project as we speak. A marketing firm, Pnex, the Pnex team. We have Ellie Friedman Productions for the productions. We have Sat for all the props, all the beautiful stuff. We have here a program director. We have Drive Up, which is the website of the campaign, and so on. A lot of vendors involved, and we're basically on top of them and making sure everybody knows their job, everybody's getting paid, what's their price, why are they here for, and making sure everything is being run smoothly. So my partner, he's basically on top of the logistics, so he's on top of all these vendors. I'm basically just on top of the numbers, making the dollar symbol bigger and stronger.
Right, but what kind of logistical things can you do to make the numbers get bigger? For example, I saw there's hundreds of computers in the room. There are hundreds of phones. We're using power banks. What is involved in making sure this is a successful campaign and people are able to reach their potential? From your end, what does that look like?
So the main thing is that people should feel that their money values. Some people come here and they see a guy gave $18,000, a guy gave $25,000, and they feel like, why am I here for? To raise my $18 donation, my $25 donation. The honest truth is that this is the numbers that's in the bank. This is the people that we want. And when we have 28,000 donors, this is the way how bigger people are giving their size of numbers. So they have to feel important. They have to feel validated. So the only way to do it is when the technical part is flowing smoothly, which means that every technical error is being taken care of, handled properly. They have what they need. They need a power bank, need a computer. A lot of our people don't have smartphones. They don't have the link handy. So they have a computer. They have a phone. If they want to call random people, not on their phone number, they want to call on a different phone number. You have all the technical perspective, the food, whatever you see here is just to enable the small raisers. The raisers who are trying hard to get a lot of small donors. Donor after donor, they should feel validated. They should feel that their money is what's making this campaign happen.
So what you're saying is that these small donations are powering much bigger donations because when the big donors see that there's a lot of people involved, tens of thousands of people donating, they want to be a part of it as well.
I saw yesterday a very interesting thing.
Okay.
We had a campaign a year and a half ago when the economy was a little bit in a better place than now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we raised approximately, I would say, the same amount in small money. Small money, I would say $5,000 and less. The same amount of money this year and last year. The difference is that this year we raised it. Last year we raised it from 9,500 donors. And this year we raised that amount from 12,500 donors, which means we have the outreach with 3,000 donors more in order to get to the same amount of money. And Baruch Hashem, we got there. We pushed hard. We have more raisers, but that's the trick.
So you're saying that less people are giving less money, but more people are giving.
Correct.
Now let me ask you something else. Aside from all the technical aspects, who's hyping up and giving emotional support to these people who are sitting the entire day on the phone, sending emails, whatever they're doing to get, who's running that aspect of the campaign?
So I have under me a group of, I would say, 40 leaders, which every leader has approximately 25 to 60 people, depends on how much time he has in his day and if he's paid or he's a volunteer or whatever. We have 40 leaders. So every raiser has a leader that calls him, motivates him. He knows he can call them whenever he has a question. And I'm in touch with the leaders, making sure that if they need help, if they need support, they need their questions answered. Me with my team to handle their technical problems. So the leaders are the motivators. Besides that, we have here in the room my Matke Berkowitz, which tries to motivate the crowd. And he's doing a great job. And that's basically the motivation.
Schlimmes Armon. Ich meine, die bist der erste Mensch, was kennen zu suchen wegen der Economy. Wie es ist. Wird besser, es wird ärger. Es du a future, es geht werden besser, es geht sich verbessern. Wie ist es jetzt?
I'm not a economic profession. I can't tell you if it's getting better. I can just tell you, people are always asking me if campaigns are done, it's not happening anymore, it's not successful. Obviously, after tonight, there's not going to be any question anymore. Everybody's going to know what's going on. But I said it, there was a seminar, Shlomi Zions was there by Shmuel Stern. I spoke after you.
That's right.
And I said, people are asking me how campaigns is going, and I told them it's going well. And they said, what do you mean it's going well? So I told them I had an increase in my company, the numbers. How could it be? I told them I had a 50% increase, but I had 100% working harder to get this. So the same thing as we spoke. You have to push harder, get more people involved, more raises. The money is there. People have the money, smaller money, but they're giving. More people, more push, and we're getting there.
People at home, if you're thinking of giving, you didn't give yet, now is the time to give, no matter what it is. The more the better, but even if it's a small amount, it will make a big change.
We have one goal. Obviously, the way how we say it is 5 million. That's not the goal. That's just the game of it. The goal is 40,000 donors. I believe we're going to have 40,000 donors. We will get to $5 million plus.
So we are currently at 27,953 donors. We're going to need another 12,500.
And we're going to make it happen.
Sounds great. Okay, now
Thank
thank you
you so much.
for being here. We are now joined by. Would you like to introduce yourself, Rabbi?
My name is Shmuel Biyuman Kramer. I'm a brother-in-law from Rabbi Moshe Magaretin. I'm involved in Tzedek since 2018, before it was Tzedek.
What was it called back then?
There was no name. It was just Moshe Magaretin.
Okay.
And I got involved, and that was before the First Step Act. So I approached my brother-in-law, whatever he needs, I'm here to help.
Did you envision whenever you found out what his vision was, that it would turn into what it is today? What did you think?
Never in a million years. I just tried to help him, whatever he needs, fundraise money, whatever he needs to be involved. And
What do you think is the key to his success?
the key to his success is never give up and always have a clear vision where you're heading to. And he doesn't take no for an answer. Fight. Just go through whatever blockages you have, just cut through it. If it doesn't go through this angle, go through the other angle.
There's always a way.
Ich denke, wenn Moshe hat mich geriefen, suchen, als Trump geht rauslassen, Schlammatig von die Füße. Es hat so gesound wie a Dimian. Aber allemal, ist noch kein Mensch genau gesagt, er soll mich disappointen. Kommt und sagt, ich wollte sagen, ich wollte sagen, aber ich habe gesagt früher, Moshe weiß allem, was ist zwischen den Trappen. So gewisse Sachen, was kommt, was the liberals zijn gegen dem. So gewisse andere Sachen, was kommt, the conservatives zijn gegen dem. In Afghanistan, so wie jetzt, de campaign heißt Alabama, Washington. Jetzt is het probleem met Alabama. But gaat es helfen durchbrechen. Gaat samenbrengen beide parties en ze machen arbeiten zusammen. En ik heb al lange list van Sachen, was daarvan erledigt werden. Ik ben normaal fertig met hem. Tzedek gaat blaten in business, ja?
Tzedek gaat team, wus me daar van klaar is wieveel me ken. Maar schon jetzt, das sei es auf dem Plate. Jeden Tag immer rein bei Kusches, du musst mitten in der Campaign 2 Wochen zurück, gedacht gehen 10 Sachen umgereitet für die Campaign. Vor 2 Tagen ist Moshe gewesen busy mit ein jeder rauszunehmen von Twisa. One single Jew, so he stopped campaigning for 2 days, crucial days for the campaign, just to take out one Yid from Twisa. A few days earlier, should be home for Shabbos.
Wow.
Okay. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you and the work you've done for Tzedek. Guys, I have an exciting announcement. We have here somebody who we were hoping would come on the show. We weren't sure if he would come, but he's in the room with us. So I don't know if he's willing to come, but I'm just saying his name. Rabbi Moshe Magaretin was with us. Please, Rabbi, please come and join us. Okay, Rabbi Moshe, welcome to the Tzedek Live media station, and thank you very much for sharing your time with us today. I know you've been very busy. You're very busy every day, but on a day like today, especially, you're balancing all the diplomatic work that you do with the fundraising, trying to make sure that we reach our goal by tonight. Can you tell us a little bit about the inspiration that made you start this organization? How did it start, when did it start, and why did you get involved?
Start several years ago. I went to visit people in prison, and through spending time in the visiting room, seeing how small kids are with their parents, and the guard calls out 10 minutes before, be prepared. In 10 minutes, everyone has to leave the room, and it was very heartbreaking to see. You can see small kids, they're looking at their father, and they know in the next 5 minutes they have to leave. There was one case, there was a child. He didn't want to leave. He grabbed his father's clothes, and he was saying, no, I'm not leaving. Everyone in shul has a father. I have to go by myself. Those stories I have been seeing every Thursday, every second Thursday. I used to go out usually by the end of the week. Once I was there before Pesach. It was very close to Pesach. And the visiting room was empty. Not too many people came so close to Yom Tov. And a few benches in front of me, there was another family, was a woman with a few small kids. And they prepared Haggadahs, what they made in school. And the mother knew that the kids are not going to have a chance to ask the Manashtana at home. So she brought the kids with their Haggadahs to ask the father. And so the small kids took out their Haggadah and they started to say the Manashtana. The father got very emotional. He realized his situation, that his kids are asking Manashtana not at home, not as has to be Malchusdik Pesach, and with his prison uniform. And he got very emotional and he broke down and he cried. And the mother saw it. She got emotional. The small kids were seeing their parents, how they are, and it was a horrible scene. And it was just in front of me. At that time, I said, that's it. We had previous conversation with Rabbi Boyarsky. We were searching for good lobbyists. I said, I'm jumping in. I'll take the financial part and the entire project, and the rest was history.
Now, it really has been history because you've done some unbelievable historic things. You got the criminal justice reform passed, the First Step Act, and now you've, I wouldn't say shifted your interests, but you're advancing and expanding Tzedek's work, and now we're talking about infertility. We just had somebody who was here who told us that he himself, his family is struggling with infertility and they want to have children, and he believes 100% that you're going to get this passed. What are you doing, and what kind of work is going into this on a day-to-day basis to make sure that this actually happens?
So, beside lobbying, where everyone knows, strategy is very, very important. Sometimes if you're pushing the wrong strategy, you're just investing millions of dollars to a goal, and you're going to get to a place where it's irrelevant. I know some people are coming over to me and having issues in their business, what Tzedek doesn't get involved in private business. Even I got some amazing offers, but as of now, I'm staying in Tzedek. And I'm always telling them, before you're pushing your idea, what you believe it's right or wrong, please speak to some professionals and have a plan who is actually a plan what makes sense and it's doable. Because if you're just going to hire lobbyists, something where you believe it might happen, it's just you're throwing money in the garbage. So one of the big things is to strategize. Like with prison reform, we took a model from Texas prison, the state of Texas. That's why John Corner was the first sponsor of the bill, because it was a model created by Rick Perry, actually, the state of Texas where you are living.
He's our former governor, I believe.
Yeah, Rick Perry was the former governor. And the results of their program, that people should participate in programs to rehabilitate, and every day they're participating, they're earning their time, they're earning credit to go home earlier. We saw the results was amazing. We believe we can take the same model on the federal level. This was our idea, but it took us like 2 years at least researching what's going to be the right prison reform. What can we do? The same is with here. We are investing a lot of money. Sometimes you have to just cancel your whole plan, and you have to change everything, and it has to make sense. You have to have a strategy. You have to speak to people who knows the industry well, and they know what is actual doable, and what is. Sometimes you can pass a law, it's going to have no meaning. It's going to be just a messaging bill. There are several laws passed, and not too many people are benefiting. So you have to write it the right way, and you have to have exactly the right strategy. So we, over here, we have a group of attorneys who are professionals in the ERISA, because this bill will amend the ERISA. So we know people, we hired top attorneys in this area. In the same, we have lobbyists, not only about lobbying, who knows the industry, they were working in those committees before, and they have a lot of experience. So we have first we have a plan, and sometimes after a few months you have to change plan, you have to come up with a new
mahalach how to go, and then you have lobbyists. And the lobbyists are going around and pushing your bill.
Ramosha, ich war mich zurück, wenn der Flex mich rief, muss man gebeten zu reden Jiddisch, ich rede Jiddisch. Können wir kicken zurück meine E-Mails. 9/19/2011, September 19, 2011, hast du mir geschickt E-Mails, als damals gedealt mit einem Mensch mit Nummer gereicht mit einer größeren Lobbyist. Und ich denke, dass man damals erzählt am Maße, als wenn man so kommt zu lachen, nicht bei einem, bei zweiten, einer von den größten Lobbyists, und hat gesagt, als du weißt, das erste Mal, wo sich dealt mit solchen Menschen wie die. Und die ist gefragt, was heißt? Jeden? Nein. Individuals. Es ist das erste Mal, dass ein Mensch kommt von New York und Washington in a hired a lobbying company. Menschen haben nicht, unfortunately, wenn sie geht in the United States, also ob es nicht eine größere Company mit Sachgeld, kommt es schon nirgends. Sehe ich eine von den E-Mails, also sagt, okay, ich habe $5,000, ich gehe anfangen zu arbeiten. Ich warte auf narische $5,000. In dem wird es Ramosha, wenn ein bisschen ein Mensch, gib mir Geld, wo ist die Reaction? Na,
Rav haben gelacht.
Rav haben gelacht davon. Und die anderen Menschen, weil ich sehen war, so haben schnell, ich dachte, ich kann besäunen, so haben schnell herausgepickt. Sie gewähnt auf Frieden an Schwurger. Die Menschen haben mich gefragt, wieso ihr möchtet Tag also, ich sitze da immer zu lieg gewesen. Und weil besäunes, Kleb, einmal und noch einmal, und kein Mal eine Show gegeben. Es ist ein moeilige Mr. Haskell für jeden von uns. Aber man tut kein Mal eine Show geben. Das möchte
Is sehr interessant, du suchst jetzt. Koidem, interessante Sache, when we hired the lobbyists, we only hired lobbyists who are Republicans because we thought on criminal justice, the Democrats were always there. So there is no need to hire Democrat lobbyists. But finally, after we got Senator Cornyn on board, we saw the Democrats are moving away. They were saying the bill is not a good bill, it's racial. They came up with a whole list of problems. What we realized that when someone is telling you 10 problems, he has one problem. That this is not what they want, and they don't like the bill, they don't want to work on something what Republicans want to work. This is how, unfortunately, Washington works. So I was lost. Why was I lost? I needed a Democrat lobbyist. So when you want to hire a lobbyist in Washington, it's very hard to find a lot of people who ever try to hire a lobbyist. It's very, very hard to get the right lobbyist. Always when you call a lobbyist, for sure, he was my roommate in college, and I used to work by him. You can think that he's the right one. After 3-4 months paying him, a cheap lobbyist will be $10,000, average lobbyist will be $25,000, and a real good lobbyist is $50,000. So every month. It's a monthly fee. This is public information. The average, that's the prices. And one lobbyist is usually not enough. You need more than one. You can never rely on one. And after a few months, you're seeing he was the wrong lobbyist. So from one minute to the other, I need a Democrat lobbyist. I didn't know who's the right one. On the other one, we did a lot of research. And we hired before some lobbyists, and we stopped working with them. So I was in prison. I was visiting someone in prison. His name was Mishulam Yakubovich, Ida Tzedek. He was very involved in this bill in the beginning. And why I'm saying he's a tzaddik, because he was in prison, Taka, but he didn't care so much about him as other people. He always used to tell me in the bill, oh, this is not covering that. Oh, it's not about him, about this one, that one. He's not going to be able to benefit. So he told me, by the way, there is someone with the name Namazi. He was very involved in the Clinton campaign, and he's very well connected to the Democrat Party. I believe he might have the right lobbyist for you. So he told me, I'll get you the Podestas. The Podesta were, if everyone knows, John Podesta, John and Tony, two brothers. They had one of the best firms in Washington, a Democrat firm. We'll get them to work for you. I said, what, they're going to want $50,000, $60,000? No, we're going to work on a better price. So one day, I was driving from Brooklyn to Muncie to my office. I'm seeing on my ID a call from Washington. I picked up, hi, this is John Podesta. John, I'm sorry, it was Tony, was the brother. This is Tony. We got a call. We would love to speak to you. When are you in Washington? Want to meet you? We scheduled a time. We hired him. After a few months, we came for a follow-up meeting. And I was waiting in the waiting room. There was a lobbyist working for him with the name Sean McLagan. And Sean told me, by the way, Rabbi, just what Reb Shimon said, you are the only individual lobbyist. You can look on our filings. You have the bank industry, the airline industry. You are one individual. I told him, Sean, you're making a mistake. I do represent one of the strongest corporations. This is Klal Yisrael.
Wow.
Wow.
So people don't understand lobbying is very expensive, and this is what we're doing. It costs a lot of money. And sometimes I'm looking back on the work, what we did on criminal justice, I sometimes can get chills how I survived 10 years. And with a lobbyist, sometimes you cannot tell them, okay, I have 24,000, I'll give you next month. It doesn't go that way. Baruch Hashem, every month, sometimes I borrowed money. I was in a certain stage, it was a big balchav. I owned some people hundreds of thousands of dollars. But by the end, I was able to find loans. I was able to bring it to the finish line.
I think you're the best person to answer these two questions. So the first question is, why is this campaign different than all the other campaigns? And secondly, the people at home, what's the behind the scenes reason that this one is more important than usual?
I wouldn't say it's more important. I think it do affect more people, a bigger part of Klal Yisrael. I'm seeing by criminal justice, some people, till they know the system, that it's not only a Yiddish issue. There's a lot of organizations in Washington they do lobby for the same issue. And this is sometimes the answer. People ask me, why Tzedek? What are you talking? There's so many big organizations in Washington. Because most of the organizations will be or a Democrat group, a liberal leaning group, or will be a conservative group. We are in the middle. As you see, yesterday we had 2 Republicans, very conservative members of the House, and today we're going to have her, Senator Fetterman. And we had the Sheva Brochas, what we did for the couples. We had J.D. Vance and Cory Booker, because we are crossing across the aisles. We do care about Klal Yisrael. It doesn't matter my own opinion. And we're working with everyone as long we can bring good results for Klal Yisrael.
It's really beautiful.
I'm sorry.
There you go.
Het is interessant. Unfortunately, in zijn gevoel, als raffende bills zijn gepast in Washington, zijn niet door te helpen de mensen. Dus de corporations, de poor people, was kennen niet patsoen die geld. Zij werden niet represented. De einzige die we kennen over in Washington is het team dat we steeds dit.
Ja, so wegen dem darf man auch sagen, mal, als Amerika soll sich stürmen. Wenn Amerika schockelt sich auf, dann helfen nicht die alle Lobbying. Also wie Obamacare, ich meine, als Sache, die Insurance Companies haben nicht gewollt. Und sie gesagt, du gewisse Sachen, wo es a viele mit dit Lobbyen Millionen oder a viele Billionen Dollar ob der Land ist aufgeschockelt, hilft nicht die alle Lobbys. Weil der Politician, der meiste, was kehrt, ist auf seinem Bänkel. Also wie in some Team bei der Bill, as in some genommen polls. We did hire a firm to take polls in the swing states, and we were able to represent those polls to the Republican Party and to some very important people in the election who were very who their opinion mattered, and they saw the numbers. We hired a company called Coefficient, and we know that the GOP are using them. Some of the Trump PACs are using them, and they had the numbers, and numbers don't lie. You saw like 73%. In Michigan, the numbers were, I think, close to 80. Actually, Mike Rogers, who was running for Senate in Michigan, came out with the op-ed, he's going to work with us. He used the name of our C4, not of Tzedek, called Americans for IVF, said, I'm going to work with them to change the insurance policies for the couples. And he saw an increase in 5 points after he came out publicly saying that he's going to work on this issue. This is something what is very popular by the American people, and we have to use that. We have to spend millions of dollars on PR. PR to make an impact over the United States, it's a lot of money. And once you have the American people on your side, it's way easier to win it. Yeah. Even when someone will spend $1 billion against you, it's not going to help them.
Is nicht interessant, dass Da hast du $140 million, was wird gespent von der anderen Seite. Wenn du, das ist das beste Exempel, sehen dich, wie, was er Strochelung zu gestellt im Weg, wenn man will abstoft in Washington. Also die ganze Insurance-Industrie, wo sie spenden größte Gelder, und sie sind die Ikre-Steher, nicht Alabama, nicht der, nicht jener, sie sind die Ikre-Steher gegen den.
Ja, in some klare proof, als es gewähnt a coordination zwischen the so-called religious group mit the insurance companies, was I'm geplaced a article in einer von the papers wo the conservative members in the House and the Senate linen, das heißt the Independents, was into the article gestanden, wer so geplaced the article, und für was hat sie geliked die Nummern ist, weil sie sucht, dass sie gearbeitet für Trump. Sie will bringen, als das ist die Opinion von Präsident Trump. Wenn Menschen meinen, dass sie gewähnen so gleich zu Trump, weil Trump das sagt Menschen an sich, ich kann sagen noch jetzt, seien domestic policies, wo sie sei dagegen der Bill, ist, sie hat geschrieben ihr Title, und der Geist, der likes dran die Nummern in Google, siehst du, sie arbeiten für eine Lobbyist-Firma, für die Insurance Companies. So, in the ganze Article gewähnt based of religion, of respect for conscience, and alle sei getan, was sie bringen allemal.
Eli, es hat etwas mit Religion zu tun.
Ja.
Wow.
Okay, Rav Moshe, I know you're very busy. You have a lot of things to do today. Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence and with your time. Continue tzedakah with everything you do. Anything else you want to say before we...
No, I just want to say to Claudius Rowe that without your partnership, the same as we had on when we worked on criminal justice reform, on the First Step Act, on the CARES Act, we need your partnership, and together we can make it happen. And Yirtzeh Hashem to be mevasser again to Claudius Rowe, the Siras Toivas. Thank you so much.
We're looking forward very much that after this gets passed, Bezos Hashem, we're going to do another show with you, and we'll discuss and we'll celebrate the big win.
Ja. Santa Fermigkeit, du noch ein bisschen.
Ja.
Der Hals ist Kim ungeteen ein bisschen begovedik. In honor von der Jiden zu arbeiten.
This is Zara Gitashala. So I was talking about this with Yaakov earlier, where he's asking if we think Senator Fetterman is going to show up in a suit or in a sweatshirt.
I think a sweatshirt. The only thing I was thinking is like, could we get him a Tzedek sweatshirt? Does that even exist? I think he'd wear it.
We definitely have to make some merch for Senator Fetterman so that when he's standing on the floor, he can wear something that represents the people who want to have their families helped. So now we're going to be joined by two guests. We're about to find out who they are and where they're from and why they're here. But welcome into the studio. Please have a seat. Please speak directly into the mic. Thank you. Your name is?
Matke Friedman.
From?
Monroe.
Monroe. And you?
Moshe Rubenstein from Monroe.
Oh, so two members of Monroe. And let's start with you. What brings you here to the campaign today?
Oh, the cause.
The cause. So
why do you care about the cause? Why is it important to you?
Let's say I know a lot of people that can use this.
Okay, and you're raising money?
Yes.
So what kind of goal did you take?
10,000.
That's ambitious. Do you mind if I take a look at your page live?
Sure.
Okay, so what name are we looking for again?
Moshe Rubenstein.
With an I?
Rubinstein.
Stin.
When you call people or message them or reach out to them, what's the main thing that they have to understand about Tzedek and what Tzedek is doing?
It depends on why do you reach out to them. If it's personal or if it's just because you admire their work.
Mm-hmm.
If it's personal, just reach out. It's personal to me. Just help me bring the bill closer to the finish line.
Mm.
If it's just because you know their work, just tell about their work.
So it looks like you have a goal of $10,000. You already raised $5,397. Very nice. You're more than 50%.
I was busy.
Yeah, you're busy. More than 50% there, and it seems like the average donation, based on the math, which I'm not good at, is your average donation is over $50.
No, it's less.
It's less?
I have 3 or 4 donations above 100. The rest of the donations is about $18 to $86.
Okay, well, this is divided by 136. Again, I'm not great at math.
It's great. There's so many. We saw so many people on the floor like you that your goal is 10, 7, 5, 26, whatever it is. But if all of those people get so many people to donate $18, it literally adds up. It's pretty wild.
Yes.
Now, let's just check in, by the way, with the numbers of the campaign. We're at currently 79%, $3,981,166. They told me that they wanted to have $4 million before supper, which starts in 28 minutes. And do you think we can raise another $19,000 in 28 minutes?
19,000?
Yeah.
My prediction is $4.00.50,000. $50,000.
4.50. Okay. Very nice. Now, moving along to you. What brings you here to this campaign?
So, of course, I'm raising.
Okay.
But I have a special place in my heart for this generally for Tzedek, for the way they solve problems.
Yeah.
Most organizations solve problems at the problem's end. Moshe Margaretin solves problems at the core. Instead of putting a Band-Aid at the issue, case by case, of course there's a place for that too. So it's about getting it done at the legislative level. It's about getting it done once and for all and going to the next thing. I've been eyeing this organization since its inception. It didn't have an inception because it kind of evolved. So I have a special place in my heart for that, and so I just got involved.
And how's your page doing right now? What kind of goal did you take?
So I took with the shit of 10,000, and then the guy chickened out, so it became 5,000. My page isn't doing as well as his pages do.
Okay. And let's take a look at your page. I want to ask people, if you're watching at home and you haven't donated yet, or even if you have donated, if you have a few extra dollars, why don't you give to this wonderful Yid? Donate to his page so that it'll fire him up to donate, to raise more. And everyone, at the end of the day, there's a massive room there filled with people who are sitting and raising the entire time. And with every cent, every dollar that comes in, gives them further motivation to go on to make this goal a reality. This is not about money. It's not about anybody sitting here. It's about doing good things for Klal Yisrael and for the world.
You know what he mentioned? That Moshe Margaretin, like, it starts with one idea, right? You know, the people in prison, how to help them, and now it's again, that's not in the past, but it's growing and expanding, like you said, and now IVF. Like, the more that we have tzedek in the right places, we know Mir Tashem, this is going to happen with everyone donating. Please donate. But whatever the next problem that Klal Yisrael and frankly America is going through, we know Moshe Margaretin is going to be like, okay, we have now the context, the people, we're lobbying. We have those relationships. So this is literally like an investment. Like, we want to have that voice and be there and continue that and flourish it.
It's a snowball's effect. It's and it works and it goes forward. And also, this interesting because this focus that he has while he's busy with all these projects, you can't get him off focus. You know, you can think that he's all over the place. Now he does IVF. Tomorrow he's going to do something else. But he's so focused, you cannot get him off. Come, do this, do that. People are offering him stuff, and this guy just doesn't budge. You've seen a lot of visionaries, but this guy just focuses on the prize and just straight.
And Moshe gemacht so viel connections over the years, was mamisch nicht zum Glauben. It bei Emmes symbolisieren, Schlaglach noch Alpenheim, da poetser in a Masse mit a Baby, mag gedacht transferen von London. Mit gegriffen. Hat a General geholfen, jene gewollt rausnehmen sein interpreter von Afghanistan. En jene is schuldig aan het Teufel. Het jenem geriefen met het ding. It's unbelievable. Schlimm ist, dachte ich mal, die ist angefangen mit dem Tag bei Afghanistan. Richtig? Da connection mit dem.
Mijn eerste connection mit dem ist gewesen, wenn het me geriefen amul. Ich will nicht sagen, welche country, aber ich habe so ein paar countries in the Middle East, in der arabische Welt, ich habe gute connections. In het geriefen, ich denke, wir standen mal schweres Kitchen eine Nacht, aber ich kam ein Call von an unknown number. Moshe Margaretin auf der Line. Ich habe Mamu getroffen bei der White House. Er sagt, I don't know if you remember, ich heiße Moshe Margaretin. Es ist ein Case von Aid, wo sitzt in Twiess in einer gewissen arabischen country. Ich will mal rausnehmen. Ich habe gehört, dass die aus Connections in the government dort, FC kannst mich machen eine introduction to the Koenig von jener country. I said, I'm honored, als die tracht sich habe a connection mit der Koenig. In es ist gewesen, damals den Menschen haben mir gesagt, dass ich habe a connection mit jener Koenig. Es ist nicht stemmes. Ich kenne einen in der Koenigs Bespuche, aber Ich trage nicht, dass sich ausarbeiten. So I'm sorry I can't help you. But that's how I got the connection with him. And I saw that this Yid is still sitting in jail. This guy's not out yet.
Wow.
But it was such
And
a wild
we
case.
just passed 4 million.
Wow, Mazel tov.
Mazel tov.
Okay, so now we know we're getting dinner tonight. But going back to this, I
He's
remember
right, Elo. He's on track.
Another 50,000.
we still need another
Sure,
50,000, and we
Yes.
have 25 minutes. Let's see, that was pretty fast, actually.
Oh, if it's 3 minutes, 19,000, I'm raising my goal.
Okay,
I think it's 100,000.
so
4.1.
4.1 sounds good to me.
Yeah, okay, let's leave it.
I love it.
Let's see what happens. But going back, I remember when he called me about this person. I don't want to mention names, but the country this person is so wild, so off the map, and I couldn't imagine there's a Hasidic Yid in Williamsburg thinking about trying to get a person out of this very, very troubling situation, and it left an impression with me in my mind that if there's ever like a really wild case, there's only one person to call. And that's what happened. The next thing that came to me was when somebody I know personally, who I visited twice, there was Vance in Afghanistan. He wanted to live there, he wanted to stay there, and all of a sudden the Taliban comes back into power, and he's in real trouble. They're looking for him. They're going door to door. They're searching for this man, and if they find him, they would kill him. There's no doubt about that. And it was the whole process of how it happened. It took a bunch of months. I was involved for the first 3 days after the Taliban took over, and it got too stressful for me. I basically called Ramosha. I said, I have some connections. I'm trying to help, but I cannot deal with the stress. I'm just not cut out for this. I leave it in your capable hands. And he kept updating me every few days what's going on. They got him into a safe house and this, that, whatever. Baruch Hashem,
Against his will.
against his will. It was complicated. The craziest thing was that this guy who knew his life was in danger kind of still wanted to stay. Even though they were looking for him, they would kill him if they find him. So they had to not only work to get him out, but they had to kind of make a deal with him to get him to agree to leave. It was a very, very wild story. But in the end, I think it happened on Erev Rosh Hashanah or Matzah Rosh Hashanah of that year, about 2 months after the Taliban took over. They managed to get him out of Afghanistan, where from there he went to Turkey. He got a 90-day visa to Turkey, and he ended up staying for 3+ years. But a couple weeks ago, actually, he finally left Turkey and went to Eretz Yisrael, where his family is. And this is when Rav Moshe took him out. It didn't just save him. He took a bunch of other people. There was a soccer team. I don't remember if it was 30 or 60 women, female soccer players in Afghanistan. And in Afghanistan, women are not allowed to be part of sports. And basically, when the Taliban came into power, they wanted to kill every one of these people. These are not Jewish people. We have no connection to them. Rav Moshe ended up getting a very, very wealthy Hollywood celebrity to, I'm not going to mention the name. I will not mention the name because she deserves credit. Kim Kardashian, who's a massive celebrity, is paid, I believe, $180,000 to charter a plane to rescue these Afghan soccer players and get them out of Afghanistan and to safety. And this is something that, if you read the headline, doesn't even make sense. Hasidic rabbi from Williamsburg gets Kim Kardashian to donate $180,000 to
She was
save.
the second donor, no? There was one donor before that.
It's possible there was another donor. I don't know. But to save these Afghan soccer players, and it's just an example of what Klal Yisrael could do to be an Or L'Goyim, to show that we're not only doing for ourselves, we're doing things that the entire country and essentially the entire world can benefit from. And that's a perfect example of what Tzedek is all about.
Ja. En wenn davon help, wie immer soll sein, hat not a reputation. Jeder weiß, was schon mal geretten. Ist nur do für jeden, ist do für jeden einem. Nimmt Geld von anderen Plätzen. Und ins alle hast man die Pirates.
Yeah.
There's a quote by President Truman. It's amazing what you can do when nobody cares who takes the credit. This is an example of emotion. It's not about him, never about him. It's like he tries to be in the sidelines, and things happen.
Yeah,
incredible.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for being here. Thank you for spending some time with us.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you.
And let's take a look back at the numbers, see how we're doing.
What about your page?
My page? My page needs a lot of help. I'm going to take a look in a minute.
Okay,
But
those at home, give Shlomi Chizek and donate to his page.
I actually,
He'll
by
give
the
you
way,
a shout out on here.
I might give you a shout out if you donate on my page. Additionally, because they're expecting me to raise a large number, I have a goal of $100,000.
Wow.
It's embarrassing how much I've raised, but we're going to get there, Be'ezus Hashem, I hope.
Give Shlomi Chizek. That, if
Please
there's
do give me
anything,
some
if there's
chizuk.
anything, at least give him chizuk, and it's going to a great
Wait,
cause.
we have another 20 minutes. Basically,
Till supper?
No, not our show. So
Right.
Basically, donating. Shout out.
Yes, if you donate within the next 20 minutes, b'li neder, I will give you a shout out on my page. Or if you have a message to the world, send it on my page. I will try to shout you out. Now, they gave me a phone number, a different phone number than the regular number you can call in, and this is directly this. If you call this number, you can donate directly to my page over the phone. I'm going to pull it up in a second, but I'm playing the long game here. My strategy is a little bit different. Most of the money that I raised last year came in from the listeners of my show on Kol Mevaser Taischem L'Shloima, and I asked everybody to give small amounts of money, but I ended up getting, I think, about 1,600 donations.
Wow.
Small money. But it adds up. Small money makes big impact. And I think that's one of the important things to remember. That
And we're hitting that point in the campaign where those people who like to see, like, will they even get close? And then they start to donate. So
Right.
those chevra, you could wake up now, you could start donating, you could donate now, you could wait another hour and donate again. The Zman has hit. You could start doing. We're near, I don't say near the end, but like we're getting into prime time.
80% raised.
80%. Last 20%. That's always fun. And there's always surprises. We know behind the scenes they're working on the people who have a big capacity to give. So continue giving so they see it and they'll continue to give.
Okay, so if you do want to donate on my page and give me a little bit of chizuk, which would mean a lot to me,
Give him the chizuk, guys.
the phone number is 929-430-2774. Once again, the phone number is 929-430-2774. For those of you who don't speak any English, 929-430-2774.
Now in Spanish for if someone's watching this in
Sorry,
Spanish.
Cinco de Mayo. I don't know any Spanish. But my page, let's look. I have 34 donors. Raised $1,492. Again, I have a completely different strategy.
1492.
1492, that's a significant year for the Jewish people, not necessarily in a good way. So that's why we have to change the number immediately.
Yes.
We don't want it to stay at 1492 because that was not a good year for the Jewish people. That was the year that King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella kicked all the Jews out of Spain in the Spanish Inquisition. So let's get out of 1492 and
Let it get us to
let's
1493.
get to the year. No, we want to get to the
No,
year.
no, I'm getting us to 5-7.
Get us to the year 100,000. That's
Oh,
where
wow.
because I'm trying to raise $100,000, and my goal here is that over the next few weeks, maybe a few months, I'm going to be mentioning this every week on Kol Mevaser. I know that my listeners love to help Klal Yisrael. They love to give tzedakah, so they're going to be donating. They're going to be opening their hearts, their minds, and their wallets to help. Oh, we're out of 1492. Look at this, beautiful.
Hashem.
Zachariah Malach gave $5.
A malach.
He's a malach, and you know what? $5 makes an impact. Everybody thinks that, if I'm not giving 18, 20,
It's
25...
one more than 4.
It's one more than 4. But people think that if they give small money, it doesn't make a difference. No, small money makes a big impact when we're all giving
And
together.
also, you know what? It's the type of thing, I think we always get, like, intimidated, like, okay, I have to give $180. And again, if you could give $180, give more than that. But if you have an opportunity to give, it's Hashem giving you that ability to give to others. And it's rare, and who knows what it's going to bring to your life. So, yes, maybe you're not going to give $180, but maybe it's $18, maybe it's $100, maybe it's $1,000, maybe it's $1. If you're seeing this is your message to just give. There's, like he said before, it's not about how much you give, it's about how many people in Klal Yisrael give. Do your part, give, and then Amir Tashem, when this bill gets passed, you'll be proud to say, I was behind it. Maybe you gave $10 towards it. It doesn't make a difference. You're part of this mission. And
Psalamatche.
Oh, wow.
Psalamatche Rabashkin. Psalamatche, we do live, but the Tzedek event. Zoekst dat iets wat wegen de mooiste Margaretten in Tzedek, ja.
Ja. Is dat live? Het is live.
Me heet toch live yet.
400,000 people.
Oh, ja, kijk, dat is
Maybe.
Shalom Karabashkin is on the phone.
mensen dat ze wegen onze project. Wat wilt u wissen tegen Tzedek? Tzedek is a vast organization. Helfen tausende jüdische Kinder lachen mit Spraches, and then you take an account of the tatas, mit the zaydas, mit the kinder, hast du tausende Fasches, Pidgin Schuim. Danach haben wir ein großes Projekt, was sie tun, da bringen Kinder in die Welt. Die größte Brüche kann, was kann sein. Und eben so Menschen, Menschen Margaretten, die ganze Gehwe.
Wie lang kennt ihr schon de mooiste Margaretten? Psalamatche.
Ich kenne Menschen, sind es von aus von Fließen. Das ist der Fall, man kann nicht. Isha, also was weiß nicht, kein Fachmann, du hast Neiden gelassen, genossen, herrlich. Das heißt, bitte, ein junger Mensch, like young.
Such's ein Wort von der Jiden, welche gehalten mit, und am noch nicht gegeben. Ich kann sagen in Englisch.
I can say anything. I feel like this. Tzedek Baruch Hashem has shown that the Eivish is working. They're good keli, they're good channels for the Eivish that the sun is brachas. A lot of, I mean, I remember a year that they feed me. Eivish gave them the bracha, the first step act. After the, and since then, I heard him say thousands of years. I'm telling you, it's unimaginable simcha brought to Yidden. And it shows you the character of the person. He doesn't stop. He could have been stopping right here and enjoying it and working on a bike. We took another project. We took a project to bring the ability. A lot of people, prison's a place where you can't do what you want. You can't be like everybody. You can't be with anybody. You're singled out. All these things happen with a young couple. And one of them can't have a child. That's what they feel like at the Mamshel prison. Because their friends are one and they're different. Besides the fact that everyone's a child, but on top of that, everybody feels, what's that prison? Prison, a place you can't express yourself. You can't be who you are.
Maar a grootste scheucher op Shalamatge, van de warme werte, door me jatsen met een lef, ze zijn de genoes om lef, met naip zelf, en met onkeer met ze de goal. Ze zijn te sterk, aardsloch rabbe.
Okay, so that
Shteich
was...
Bashkin, he was by his Hanukkah party clearly, and he took his time to be with us and say how powerful it is, and we all know his story.
So that was Rav Shalom Bashkin, who basically came in and said that Moshe has done amazing things and continues to do amazing things. One of the points he brought out was that when you get somebody out of prison, you're thinking that it's just that one person, you help them. He says, no, that person has a wife, that person has children, that person has a family, and it's not just one person, you're affecting so many people. We have a guest who just joined us in the studio. I want to get to you in 1 second, because since Yaakov came up with this idea that I should ask people to donate on my page, I've gotten, I think, from 19 donors to 45 donors.
Wow.
It's flying in, and I want to do a quick shout-outs to a couple of people who have been giving. So Yankee Greenfeld, $5, thank you. Nusi Margaret, and $10, he says, keep going, Esti. Okay, Esti, keep going. Anonymous says, shout-out to Aaron Shmuel Hold from the Pinex team. Simchi Herzog gave $3.95. Gematria Neshama says, love all that you do. Thanks for this chis for all the couples that are still waiting to build their family. Avram Stern, Shlomo, you are the best. I love you. Thanks, I love you too. $10. Anonymous says 36. Love the live show. Thank you, Shimon. Thank you, Yaakov, for making it awesome. MM gave $5. Heshi Schwartz, $5. Moshe Gluck, M Gluck Designs, $18. Phone donation, $18. So money is flying in. Please keep giving to my page. I'm going to read the number at the end of this interview. Rabbi, how are you today?
Baruch Hashem, fine. First of all, congratulations, Shlomi, on your new position.
Thank you.
Shalom Aleichem, Shimon. Hello, Yaakov.
Nice to meet you.
I remember last year when you came in, when you started the small donations campaign.
Yeah.
First of all, for a while I was following it. Till where did you get with that?
So I was like pushing
what was the beginning goal? $20,000?
No, they gave me a goal of 100,000.
Okay.
I told them from the beginning, I think it's unrealistic,
Okay.
but I'm not afraid to take on a big goal because there's no shame in failing to do a good thing. You try to do something good, and if you fail, you still get to a good place. They say shoot for the sun, and if you fail, you land amongst the stars.
You know, someone told me if you wherever I go, he wants a ride. So I said, if you're going to the moon, bring back a star for me.
Exactly.
He's calling you. He got a star for you. So
No.
what's your name, where you're from, and
My name
why
is
you're
Yossi
here
Wasserman. I was about to tell something else. I'm a Shtigl team leader. I have a couple of...
The team's calling you.
This is my page. Shit, if he wants me to come make phone calls with him. Any case, I called before Ingeman to see what's happening with his page, and he says...
Wow. Should I talk?
I'll have to pick up.
Bring him on live.
I'll
There's
have to
no
pick
choice.
up. She was Titzin.
We're not playing games
might
over
wanna
here.
mention
You guys
that you're
can't
live
see
on
in
the
the
studio.
other room. There are hundreds of people calling, people they know, people they don't know, and they're not playing games. He's going, hey, there's a big donor over here. He'll get off the live because it's not about the live. It's about the raising the money, and that's what he's doing right now. Shlomi's doing the micro donations. Keep those dollars coming. Shimon, I have no clue what he's saying because he's speaking Yiddish, but I got a lot of it. But we are off to an awesome start. How much money have we raised now in total?
Okay, so we are I'm going to look at the main page, but just back to my page here. A few more donations. Shmuel and Sarah Leah Margolis just gave love from Israel. I wonder if I know them. I don't know if I know them yet, but they gave $10.
Okay.
Anonymous says, he gives $36. Says, we want to see a day in the life of Moshe Margaretin. Hashtag what a day. I have a sneaking suspicion that this is Ari Chaimowitz who gave this donation. I can't be sure, but I think that day will come. I think there's going to be a what a day one day with Ari Chaimowitz. We also have $5 from STW, and then another person who said $1. $1 matters, and they write Ayid was enjoyed the live program. Waldman gave $5. I think we already said Yankee Greenfield $5. So the donations are coming in, and that's my strategy. Small donations. Last year, I don't remember. I got to $28,000 or $26,000. Don't remember, but I do remember that I was the number 2 driver in terms of donors. I had approximately 1,600 people donate to my page.
Wow.
Second only to Dalia Oziel. Sure. Who came
She's great.
in. She absolutely smashed goals like crazy. I think she raised close to $200,000.
Wow.
And that's what it's all about. Small people or big people giving small money to make a big impact.
Anyway, you were saying before that people, they took large goals, and you said don't be afraid to take large goals. I called before you came out to check up on him. He took a large goal. I think $1,700, nicht gefährlich. But he got so discouraged. He started off, he had a couple $100, so I said, just start working, make some phone calls. Listen, I know I'm not going to make my goal $7,200, but if you lower my goal to $3,600, you might be surprised that I'll get to $5,000. He started making phone calls. He's almost, I checked before, almost $3,600, and we hope he's going to raise. I lowered it to 36. He's going to raise his goal to 5,000, and somewhere in the middle.
But sometimes it works the opposite way. If you make a small goal, people give you small donations. You should know that.
100%. Me myself, I suffer from this. I usually take a smaller goal, and you see some people. What's his name? Yossi Michal. I think the top raiser here. He has $10,000 and $15,000 donations. Not that I'm saying that I would have been able to get any similar numbers to that. However, when you have he holds coins, you get coins. He holds hundreds, he gets hundreds.
I hear you.
Ich tracht auch so, es do Menschen, was haben moire zu nehmen, a goal. Es geht von a Sach Menschen, so moire. Also moire sind schriechende goals, es ist ein Besjönes. Es darf man Besjönes, du weißt, der beste, geringste Weg zu bekommen Besjönes. Nimm a goal von 100,000, was zu nehmen.
Ja.
In raise noch 50, and ja, ist okay, man.
You got a free ticket of Bezionis.
Yeah.
100%. Now, we're looking here at the big numbers. So, thank God we've reached 80% of the goal raised. We're at $4,027,637. Woo! Very impressive. And we had a guest here earlier who predicted, hopefully correctly, that we'll be at 4.1 before supper, which I think this program is supposed to end in about 5 minutes. So, by the way, if you have not yet donated, please donate to my page. It's going to give me chizuk. But even if you don't donate to my page. Donate to somebody's page. Give somebody chizuk.
I have a page. Donate to my page.
Yaakov, you have a page?
But it's about you.
Thank you, Yaakov. Give to anybody's page. The point is, give chizuk to Tzedek. Give chizuk to Rav Moshe. Give chizuk to the couples.
I don't know if I have a page. I think they gave me someone's page.
Give chizuk to the couples who are sitting at home without children.
Yeah, sure.
I can tell you this. Last year, after I got involved in the campaign, I was approached. Wherever I go, people come over to me. And so many of them are talking about Tzedek. In a mall, in a restaurant, on a plane. People come over to say, I saw you were involved in the campaign. I saw how hard you pushed. We appreciate it. We're waiting for children. And they are sitting at home without children cheering us on. They want to see us succeed because when we succeed, they succeed. Everybody wins. So please do donate to anybody's page or to my page. I'm going to read the number again. The phone number to donate on my page is 929-430-2774, 929-430-2774, or you can go to the campaign website and look for my name, Shlomi Zions, SHLOIME-ZIONCE. If we get your donation within the next few minutes, I will try to give you a shout out on air, but we have about 5 minutes left to this stream. So please, let's do it fast.
So I will share a shtickle story with you. Someone messaged me before. I sent out some WhatsApp statuses. Shout out to the guy. He knows who he is. And he asked me, "What do you have with this campaign? I see you're fighting so fiercely and you're taking it so serious." I've been involved with many different campaigns between Moses and all kinds of different zwecken. And he asked me, "Well, you're taking this way too serious. What's happening?" So I started thinking back a little bit of how I got involved with this, and it started out with one of Eli Shishi. I was called to do like a shtickle, maybe I'm not sure if it's called entertainment, but to I'm a shtickle geschmack a person. We sit
you're very geschmack. That's a shtickle.
we did a shtickle komzits and we schmeez, a little bit jokes here and there. It was for a group of Yingelat. It's actually the same group of they have. I think they're up to $600,000. It's called Ichid Ledoides. It's Yinglat who are waiting for Yeshia, B'siyat Deshmai B'kudav Mamish. And in any case, I sat there, and I came like a shtickle innocent person to this topic at all. There's so many campaigns between the different organizations that work for these kinds of couples. And we always hear, and the marketing guys, shout out to Pinex, always doing a great job with pulling our heartstrings and making us feel, trying to give us that feeling that these couples are going through. In any case, I had an opportunity to get a first-hand experience where these Yinglat were sitting and pouring their hearts out and explaining to me what they're actually going through. I can't really share details, but I'll tell you that for a couple of weeks, it took me a couple of weeks to get by and just to understand, first to comprehend what they were saying and to really understand what these guys are going through, what these couples are going through. And a couple of weeks later, Tzedek launched this campaign, and I was called to join. And it was like a no-brainer to me. Just join and try to help out with whatever we can. And since then, Baruch Hashem, we had, this is my second campaign with Tzedek. And I'm not the greatest fundraiser, I'll admit that. However, I, Baruch Hashem, have at least this talent of just cheering up people and making people a little happier and making the process a little lighter on them. And B'Shem Hashem Nasim Natzliach. Shlomi, thank you.
How much
Yaakov
have you
Shlomi.
raised? And what is your goal?
I'm a little bit shy to share.
From Bezionis.
Bezionis, I hear.
Yeah, you wanted me to share my Bezionis. Come on, share your Bezionis too.
My goal is $10,000. I'm still less than $5,000. I'll tell you that.
Baruch Hashem.
We got the Bezionis. That's
Okay,
it.
so
Everybody,
please donate to his page as well, so that he can have less Bezionis. And we're going to continue giving shout outs. Somebody writes here, somebody gave $1. Says it's not about the live, it's about the raising money. What a statement. Shia B gave $5. He says, just so you say my name. Well, Shia B, I'll say your name twice for $5.
Shloim, it's a glim I'm in it.
I'm in it.
Basically, I donate a certain amount. The essence I gave him then what's your next assignment? Who's guys the team next?
Okay. If somebody donates $1,000 to my page,
Bring them on your podcast.
what should I do?
Bring them on your podcast.
If they speak Yiddish.
They speak Yiddish.
No, to come on my podcast, it has
Why?
to be more.
An exception.
An exception?
For Tzedek, yeah, $1,000. Come on.
Are you
Well,
going
what if it's somebody who's not eligible?
Are you going back to Afghanistan anytime soon?
I would love
Take
to.
them along.
I honestly would love to go. Oh, they get to go on a trip with me?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, that's one option. What else we got? Perhaps past a White House tour.
It's not in my hands, but if I can help somebody, like if I find out that I have those powers, I'll be happy to do it. I don't know that I do, but I'm not there yet. We're starting on January 19th.
Let's do this. $1,000 on your page within the next 5 minutes gets a surprise.
Something special from Shlomo.
Something special. We
can definitely do something special. The stream might have already ended. So if you give $1,000 on my page, make sure you send me an email or so. Get in touch with me to let me know that it was you. But quickly, Shragi Green from Vivid Media gave $36. And by the way, it's the second time that he gave him my page. I guess he wanted a shout out. He says, you're so inspiring. It was a pleasure doing business with you. And then also we have other people in honor of the legendary Nachman Gelbwax. $5. YY from London. Ari Chaimwitz, the person who gave 36 or whatever, saying that he wants a what a day. He says he's not Ari Chaimwitz, but he gave another $1 to let us know that I should read the note. That it's not him, but let's make it happen anyway.
Santa Federman is going to be here very soon.
Yes, and we have to go to dinner. We're hungry, and let's see. 1 second. Before we leave, let's take a quick look at the main campaign.
What is the total amount? What are we up to?
Okay, so we are at $4,035,626. Guys, please keep giving. We're not going to be here all night to push you, but we hope that the past hour and a half that we've spent with you, which we've had a blast, I think. Well, Yaakov, what do you think?
It was amazing. I loved it.
Shimon, you had fun?
It was my first time, and
it won't be the last, B'ezras Hashem. So we
had
had
closing arguments. Yaakov, give a closing argument first.
Closing arguments, guys, and girls, and women, and men. If you're seeing this, open your hearts. There's something. If there's anything you need in life, tell Hashem, I'm here for your kids. I'm here for your kids to have kids. I'm here for Tzedek. Go ahead, give whatever you can, and big things will happen.
Shlomi, closing arguments.
Closing arguments, Batoira.com just gave $18 to my page. But I just want to remind everybody, it's not about me, it's not about you, it's not about anyone here. It's about Klal Yisrael. Hopefully, this bill is going to get passed as soon as possible. I'm looking forward to the celebration, which is going to be massive, because when Moshe says he's making a party, he's not kidding around. Like big things happen. So we're going to celebrate this bill very soon, hopefully with President Trump. I'm asking Moshe publicly in front of the whole world. I now work in the White House. I would not mind being present when that bill gets signed, and it would be a beautiful thing to know that we worked on this, we put effort into this, and Bezrat Hashem, it will happen. But one thing I want you to know, and this should be the last impression that I leave with you for the night, is that Tzedek is here for what Klal Yisrael needs. So hopefully after this bill gets passed, there's probably going to be other things that need to be taken care of in Washington. And Rav Moshe, thank God, I don't know how he does it. I call him a magician, but he has some tricks that other people just have not been able to pull off yet. So you know that Tzedek and Rav Moshe will always be here for you, and this organization is worthy of your support. So please give warmly, open your hearts, your minds, and your wallets to support Tzedek, and by that you're supporting Klal Yisrael in making a huge Kiddush Hashem on the world stage.
Ja.
Ja, geschrieben in Jiddisch.
In Jiddisch, der jüdische Wort ist, ich habe von jedem eines hat mitgehalten. Sie gehen nach Baruch Hashem, sei wahrscheinlich Geschmack Sache. Ich halte mit Moshes Arbeit schon vor 14 Jahren geschmissen. 14 years?
Yes.
Und der Mensch hat mich keinmal disappointed. Hat keinmal schon gegeben. Er hat mich Haskel. Der Mensch geht immer lebendig mit Haskel für jeden einen. Wusste man kein Team, wenn man geht nicht auf. So jetzt ein Präsident, wo es in derselbe hat nicht schon gegeben, und er ist zurückgekommen. Wenn man halt sich stark, kommt man an. Ist, und wenn man alles, kiek mal alles aus Mashiach, und so heißt man, die Gemüse sagt, einmal doppelt bu, Atschetichli an der Schummes, alle Schummes auf der Welt, und jetzt können wir alle hoben heilig in dem, und helfen bringen Mashiach, und heranbringen Simche, und so viel jüdische Haser.
So,
No, let me hear.
The last thing I want to say is you mentioned that Mazonish overgame. People should not give up. I want to remind us all, the reason we're here is because there are thousands of couples, Yiddish couples, our friends, our family, our brothers and sisters, people who we know, people who in our families perhaps who are struggling with this, but they're embarrassed to talk about it. It's hard for them. And some of them come out in the open and talk about it. Some people stay quiet about it, but they're struggling with this. And we want them to also know they should not give up. Hashem is with them. Klal Yisrael is with them. Rav Moshe is with them. Somebody just donated to my page. PD donated $395, which is Gematria Neshama. So if you want to bring a Neshama to Klal Yisrael, it's a big schus, please. $395 or any amount, please donate. But the main thing you should know is that we're here with you. Klal Yisrael is ba'achdus, and we're trying to get the United States government ba'achdus so we can get this bill passed and make a huge Kiddush Hashem, help thousands of families, and hopefully bring Mashiach closer. Thank you all for watching.
Thank you for
being with
watching.
us.
So much. Thank you very much.
And we will hopefully see you at the celebration, celebrating the passage of this bill very soon.
Amen. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching, everyone.
Like just one point, if it's still allowed. We're done? Okay, just 1 point. Your Shmis with your podcast with Moishi, I wrote a YouTube comment. You can look it up. I said, you just made me cry. The reason I joined this year's campaign, you know, the fire that brought me back was the story of Moshe said that when he went to visit someone in prison,
Yeah.
and the mother was crying, everyone was crying because the man is tano.
Amazing.